Hi, this is Howard Ketover with Irongate Equine Clinic. We are a equine veterinary practice based out of Madison, Wisconsin. Today we're going to be talking about feeding horses in the wintertime. This is a video designed for individuals feeding horses in those northern climates that lose the pasture in the wintertime and have some of those temperature extremes they need to deal with. Anytime we're thinking about feed, the first and foremost thing we need to be thinking about is water. We have to make sure that we're giving a readily available, usually warm water source, or tepid, I guess I should say. Horse water consumption will decrease as the temperature of the water decreases, so making sure that they have access to some level of water throughout the winter is crucial, and probably the most important thing that we're going to do for them. Next thing, when we're thinking about feeding the horses, we need to be thinking about, are we feeding the horse itself or are we feeding the microbes? Oftentimes with many of our diets that we put together, we're only thinking about the horse, but in reality the vast majority of nutrition and digestion is occurring through the microbes in the horse's gut. The nice thing that does for us is those microbes produce quite a bit of heat that helps to keep that horse warm through the wintertime, so the heat of fermentation. So many times we'll see clients say we should increase our concentrates in the wintertime. Oftentimes we recommend increasing your forages or your hays in the wintertime, because again we're feeding those microbes, and those horses are going to stay much more warm by having hay in front of them. Some of the things we can do to increase the amount of time that they have hay in front of them is use some sort of hay netting, a slow feeder. We have to balance that with not decreasing the amount of hay they're getting so much that we're putting them at risk for hypothermia issues just because they're not eating that hay. So it's a fine balance. The other thing we always need to be thinking about is weight of the horse. We don't just want to be adding extra forage to the horse for heat, but not also looking at the body condition score of that horse and giving them so much forage that they're now creating an obesity issue. So there's a little bit of a fine line to walk there, but always think, reach for the forages first on those cold days. Add an extra flake of hay. When we're feeding the horse, what we're going to be looking for is more of those concentrates. So if we do have a weight issue and we need to be putting weight on, there are many commercial available products that help to add weight to the horse. Oftentimes going for a fat source like a rice bran or some sort of fat supplement. Oftentimes oils can be a little more challenging in these northern climates in the winter just because they tend to freeze, but certainly something, if your management allows for it or if your stable allows for it, is something you can use. Next time, what we're going to be talking about and looking at is how do we feed our senior horse through the winter time. So any different changes we need to make there to help bring them through the winter. Thank you very much. Again, this is Howard Ketover with Irongate Equine.